Hey trackies, welcome back to another video here on TXT Track Time. Please remember to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. I feel like anytime I'm about to do a video that's controversial, I really do start laughing. But anyway, yeah, this is one of those videos, and this is a video that was highly requested actually, and it's one that I've been running away from, but it is what it is. Here we are, and I'm ready to discuss Jamaica and what it seems will be our prospects really and truly heading into the Olympic Games for 2024 versus the other teams. Now, one team in question that I would really love us to, focus on is Team USA. They've beat us in the last two championships back to back. So that is 2022 World Championships held in Eugene, Oregon, and then of course the one last year, 2023. Budapest, Hungary, right? So they beat us back to back. And then when you take into consideration the teams that beat us as well, then you start to think to yourself, what is Jamaica doing wrong? And I, have harped on the fact that this isn't a recent issue. The problem is now that the fact that there are teams that are beating us, or a team that is beating us, then it's starting to show the holes that were visibly there, years prior. But there's something that I noticed this season that the American team is doing, and, it's left me asking questions. Why can Jamaica not do the same? And are we setting up ourselves for failure? So, what I've noticed is that the American teams are doing relay runs in meetings across the country, right? So what they dub it is camps that will be set up across different events, as I said, or different meetings that are being held, and athletes that are interested in being a part of the relay team will have to take part in these relay camp races. Again, these are at meetings across the country. We've been seeing like the Texas relays happening before. That was one of them. So yes, this is what is happening in America, and it's making me wonder why not Jamaica. No, I know some of y'all are probably not going to want to take my word for it, so take a listen, and then I'm going to get back with the rest of my thoughts.
A lot of potential relay members for the U.S. team. Trials are just a few months away up in Eugene, Oregon. Of course, we'll be there as well for the NCAA championships, second week of June.
And USA members, when they if they want to run on the relay, they have to attend certain relay camps, a number of relay camps, and there's a half a dozen of them throughout the country. This is one of those. They get a chance to get together, work on their relay handoffs, and we're seeing a number of the really, really good sprinters that we will see at the Olympic trials trying to make that Olympic team.
Michelle Freeman, the coach for those relays, she is here watching every step of the way to make sure that they put together the best one in Paris.
All right, so there you heard it. So yes, indeed, America is having their relay camps. Now, it's not in the typical format that you're used to, where, a couple of weeks probably before the championship, whether it's a world championships or an Olympic games, we get the athletes together, have them really crunch down in that type of setting and, practice. No, they're trying to be ahead of the game right now and kind of ballpark a certain set of athletes as it relates to who could potentially be a part of the relay construct, providing how they also do at the American trials once they get there. We have to, factor in, will you still be in shape by the time you get there? Because athletes can pick up injuries at any particular point in time. So yeah, they have to factor in a lot of things before they really get down to who will be the final team. But at least for now, they'll be able to, one, ballpark athletes that could potentially be a part of the team, and two, these athletes get much needed practice with the legs. Now, what I've noticed is that a lot of these athletes as well are not running the legs that you're used to, quote unquote, seeing them on, right? They're running different legs, practicing, handing off the baton, receiving the baton. All this is happening when it comes to this particular relay setup or relay construct that I see, the American team, Team USA, undergoing at this particular moment. And it's kind of leaving me in a spot of bother, leaving me annoyed, frustrated at the fact that here we are, Team Jamaica, and we have depended, on our team over the years because they are, I want to say since our recent years, we've had a set of girls that were typically, when you put them together, when you look at average times, ended up being potentially faster than anything else the world had to offer. And I would say this was happening probably from around 2008. Now, I know we didn't medal in 2008 because we dashed the button, but I want to say this was roughly from around 2008. I would say we really had a team that when you look at it on paper was just overwhelmingly faster than everybody else, right? So with that said, we've really depended on that. But over the years, what I've noticed is that a lot of countries have taken this opportunity to slowly but surely get some kind of plan in place in order to get their athletes up to scratch. Even if you don't have the foot speed, what are we going to do to ensure that we can try to win? Because at the end of the day, we're here to win. We're not here to play second fiddle to anybody, right? We want to win. And what I noticed in 2022, and again, this is probably where we started to see the band-aid that was covering up what I would consider a sore at this particular point started to slip off and show that hold up, there's something festering underneath there, something festering that's not right, and we need to cure it, right? So with that said, when I look at the team in 2022, I'm talking about a team of Melissa Jefferson, Abby Steiner, Jenna Prandini, and Twanisha Twerry. This particular team was able to run a world leading 41.14 seconds, defeating a powerhouse Jamaican team. I'm not I'm not stuttering. This was a powerhouse Jamaican team. No, I did say I'm not stuttering, but I started to stutter. But anyway, this is a powerhouse Jamaican team that was taken down. I'm talking, we had Kimball Nelson, Elaine Thompson here, Shelly and Fraser Price, and Sharika Jackson. Three of the fastest women ever to grace this earth were defeated by a band of upstarts. You could say, well, Prandini has been around for a while, yes, but as far as I'm concerned, looking at this team, this is literally a band of upstarts. A band of upstarts that are nowhere close to Team Jamaica in terms of, flat foot speed, was able to wipe us clean, wipe us clean and walk away with a gold medal. So now you're starting to see, oh, guess what? You can't depend on speed only because there's a lot more going on when it comes to that. We need to make sure that when it comes to the technicality of it, okay, handing off the baton timely, swiftly, doing all the things required, in a relay, not just quote unquote running fast individual and each person's leg. Because if the baton slows down, then the race is over and done with as it relates to all these, potential fast people that could do crazy things. Like me, I've always been talking about the fact that they could break the world record, but if the button keeps slowing down every time they're supposed to hand it off, then that's just taking away time that could be potentially cut out of the current world record that sits on the books. No, when you take into consideration, no, I called the American team back in 2022 a band of upstarts. Now when we're come back to 2023 now, and you look at the team, right, whilst you may say it's a band of upstarts, they still defeated us, but it's upstarts that include one particular athlete that, ranks among the best ever to do it in sprint. So now we're talking about an athlete that can match us in terms of foot speed. So we're not even looking at it to say, no, okay, these athletes are much slower than we are. No, they're starting to match us. So one, we're already not getting any practice, right? So our baton changes are ridiculously poor, right? So, but America is out there practicing, right, with their slower athletes and beating us. And two, now they have athletes that are also equally as fast as us. So clearly they're going to, wipe us clean at this particular point, which is why I'm saying it is getting frustrating to me. No, when I look at this from a Jamaican perspective in terms of how we have meets here, we regularly have development meets, velocity fest, whatever, all about the place, week after week. Now, based on the video that I had you guys listen to earlier on, what is the issue with Jamaica doing the same thing in terms of utilizing these development meets as a way for the athletes to practice? Now, I have to give credit it's only the men that seem to care, right? The clubs with the men, that is. Now, I have to give credit to the Racers Track Club, seeing them, put out relay teams already, right? Also, want to give credit to Sprint Tech as well, seeing them also do it. But really and truly, it's not just the men that need to do it, and the men seem to be the only ones that really want to make sure that they get it together, get it right, so that when they get to the global stage, they can at least walk with a medal. Because guess what, we're not as dominant on the male side as we used to be back in the day, so we can't depend on speed. Thankfully, at least they realize that they can't depend on speed and are doing what they believe they can do, everything they can do to try to at least, close the gap on what will be Team America and every other team heading into the Olympic Games. What are women doing? Absolutely nothing. Now, all of these women, are part of different clubs. And as far as I'm concerned, based on how these clubs are set up in Jamaica, them have a whole lot of people there. Enough people there. These people can field a relay team at any particular point in time and have these athletes go out and run at any one of these development meets to make sure that they're getting practice in. Have them run on different legs, right? Let them get comfortable with receiving a baton or handing off a baton so that when it comes to the Olympic Games and we now need to start to structure a team, we don't have to be worrying about, whose shortcoming is this and whose shortcoming is that, but rather focus on, okay, guess what? You run a better bend than you run a better straight than you. So this is what I'm going to do. Or you have a better start than the other person. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't want to have to be factoring how poorly now you are at receiving the baton or handing off the baton. That's the thought process there, but I'm not seeing it happen. And I'm trying to understand why. What exactly is the problem? And is Jamaica setting up themselves for failure? No. Does this mean I want Jamaica to lose? No. I know some of you are going to say, I'm so negative. No, I'm not negative. I'm trying to do everything in our power or have our athletes do everything in their power to make sure that we can win. I don't want Jamaica to be going in underestimating. I think that's what we keep doing. You can't keep looking down on the competition and thinking that, we can just walk in with our superior flat speed and wipe everybody clean. Sure, I would love that to be the case, but clearly when it comes to the relays, that's not the only factor. And we need to start working on those particular things, which we are not doing. And I'm trying to understand why we are not doing all these clubs, MVP, elite, every single one of these clubs. I know I'm targeting them in terms of name calling because that's really where our women are, our major women are in sprinting, other than the ones that, are collegiate or train overseas, right? That's mainly where our athletes are. So why Uno can't set up one relay team? So for the people that will be saying, they could potentially get injured. Look here, if they are trained every day, they can't get injured this or two. So what's the difference? What is the difference in terms of having them, set up a relay and run, right? You're not going to be asking the athlete to quote unquote go all out, right? You can have them, run in a particular way so that again, the need that is required in that moment is met, which is practice with the baton, right? Now, that is my thought process when it comes to the relays. At this particular point, I think Jamaica is pretty much setting themselves up for failure. I really want us to win. I'm hoping that we win come Paris, but we have to prepare. In everything in life, you have to prepare. You have to have proper preparation. You don't just walk into something and expect to dominate everybody else. I think that is, arrogant of Jamaica to think that we can just walk in and dominate everybody else. We have to prepare, trackies. So with that said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Yes, I've been rambling for quite a bit. Let me know your thoughts. Like the video, of course, and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye.